Hi there. I'm Marshall. Welcome to the solo stream. I'm going to be playing against the rival mode today. I hope you're all having a wonderful morning. I'm here with both Ian and Nolan, sort of watching over, so I may ask the two of them questions or kind of uh, look into some different things about what Ian's done here with the solo mode as he's designed it. I'm going to be playing the bats today, and the rival is going to be the hummingbirds. So we've already kind of got some of this stuff set up. There's not a ton of difference between setup for a normal game of Everbloom and a game of the rival mode or the addition of a rival mode to your two player, but there are a couple things that are a little bit different here. So first thing I'm going to do is take a seat so that I can actually do things in Tabletop Simulator. So, we have a few things we have to do for the rival. One is get their rival faction card, and this is kind of a neat thing that you can kind of see has the different chips there. It's also got the way that the rival runs. We'll kind of see how this works. We'll learn what Overrun is while we play here. Overrun is a unique mechanism that the sort of AI factions have. Just gives them a little bit of an easy way to program their desire to win cards. So, and then another thing that's going to happen is we're going to give this first player token to the rival, and they're going to keep it for all 3 rounds. So, one of the advantages the rival has is that they are always sort of the first player in the game. So, the other thing they've got is some frozen tokens you'll see here. These essentially lock you out of going and placing chips at landmarks, and that's a little different than the normal game, but this gives the rival part of the edge they need. And at the end of each round, these are removed, but they do sort of go on to a location, and then you can't do anything. You can't place a chip there, and you can't really do anything with that landmark until it has been cleared at the end of the round. So. Otherwise, we've got some rival action cards. These are important. These are sort of how um, the rival factions will operate. I'm going to shuffle some up and then I'm going to grab one just to sort of show what they do a little bit. So, yeah, the rival action cards are pretty simple to follow. One thing that I think is important that Ian's done a good job with here is keeping things simple for the sort of running of the AI, which is in my opinion, kind of the most important thing when you're playing a solo mode is you don't want to be bogged down in a ton of procedural stuff. So, what we've got is a card that you can see has a highlighted location and a highlighted card. Um, the very simplest sort of interpretation of this is that you're going to place the active chip for the rival, which is their lowest chip. They're just going to play from low to high. And you're going to place the lowest available chip they have on the highlighted landmark, which you can see is the third one over in the middle. And then you've got the northeastern card that's highlighted. And the very simplest interpretation here is place your chip and send all of those pollinators to that card. And there's some iconography that makes that even simpler that just says, kind of do that. And it makes it very familiar. So there is also, it features a few other things here. There's the 3 different icons showing pollinators from 3 different factions. Essentially, these are just highlighting that a faction will sort of activate its special ability. And since we're playing against the hummingbirds, since there's no hummingbird meeple on this card, they would not activate their special ability. And then at the very bottom, you'll notice that it says hard, game 2 bloom advances. And what happens there is that if you're playing the hard mode, which I will be today, the rival faction is just going to gain 2 bloom advances. Now, the important thing to note here is that you do not have to track the rivals' uh, sort of bloom objectives. These are just for you in the game. So they will gain a lot of bloom advances just flatly in this sort of way. So I'm going to put this card back on top, and then I'll give it a quick shuffle. Um, so beyond that, there's really not too much more to set up here. There's a few other changes to note. Like I said, the bloom track advances are just for you. So the ones that I've got are pollinate a tundra card, place a pollinator in the forest grove, and win a forest or tundra card. So I kind of have some nice synergy going on up here where we've got just tundra and forest things. So I might, focus on those two cards pretty quickly here. From there, the only other thing that we've got is we've got nectar cards. I've gotten my three, and if you're familiar with the base game, again, what we do is I will discard one of my three cards to place one of my three value pollinators into the grove that matches that nectar card. The AI, or sorry, the rival faction operates just a little bit differently. What I'm going to do is I'm going to draw two nectar cards for them face down and just sort of set them over here by their board. I'm not concerned with these until the end of the game. I mean, I'm concerned with them, but in a different way. But they have two, and then we're going to just put one face up that is their discarded one. And what you'll see there is it's aquatic, so we'll take their three pollinator and I will throw it into the aquatic. Um, for mine, I am going to discard a forest card here and place mine in the forest. Okay, the other thing we're going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and set up the cards. I'm going to flip the top card of each stack. If you're familiar with the game, this is just like a normal setup would sort of take place. Each card is revealed, and then at the end of doing these, we'll reveal the event card to see that it's got a green icon on it. So the forest is going to move, and this little forest biome icon that's here is what tells us where it goes and what card it displaces. So that's how we knew what to do there. The other thing that we need to do to start a round is determine who's going first. Now, the nice thing about this is that the rival's always going first, so we don't have to worry about a moving first player order. Um, I think beyond that, we are probably ready to play. These were pre-set up for us, but normally we'll deal out some bloom cards as well. I think, unless Ian tells me differently, I think we're good to go. I will say I kind of want to change things up here just a little bit and see if I could have some fun with some of these. So let's try a slightly different scoring schema, huh? I don't. I think I like keeping that one there. Yeah, this seems fun. Let's do this mix here, and let's give them the same mix. I don't know if this is going to be beneficial or make things more difficult for either side, but we'll see. All right. I am going to begin playing here, and it is the rival faction's turn. First thing I'm going to do is reveal their card. And I can see that it says normal or hard. It's going to freeze the landmark they go to. Now we'll see what that does in just a moment. It is a wildlife landmark, and I do not see one of their meeples here. So the first thing I'm going to do is take their lowest chip, and that is their lowest faction chip. The first player chip, just like in the regular game, is always placed last. And the way they place that is pretty specific. We can go into that once we get to it. Essentially, they're using it like a normal player would to try and take a card from you and or the other player that you're able to bring into the game. So I'm going to place their one chip at the Eastern Wildlife Landmark. And this says if two, they would gain a +1, but it isn't a 2, so I'm not worried about that. They do, the rivals gain all the bonuses and take none of the negative benefits, or sorry, none of the negatives from any of the landmarks. So they also have that benefit in that they ignore negative things and ignore stipulations. They can place wherever they like, and they also make it a little bit harder on you by locking things out while they do so. Now, when I place the one, I look here on the faction card, and we see that icon that I referenced when we were talking initially. And the icon essentially just says, follow what the card says to do, which means take all of the applicable, pollinators that you have, for this case, just one, and place them on the card that is highlighted. So in this case, I'm just placing it right here on this wonderful tundra moose. Um, And then it says normal or hard, and I'm playing hard, freeze this landmark. So this landmark now gets frozen. What this means is I cannot go there. Again, the rival can go anywhere it likes, and so it can go there. And if it did, I would just place their chip and then place the frozen token back on top to remind myself I cannot go to this location for this round, which is unfortunate because this is a wildlife location. So, um, all right, so now it's my turn. Uh, whew, what to do to start? As the bats, I want to place a higher value chip on top of things. They made it very difficult to do that initially, so I think I can lead with my one safely here. There also are not a ton of places that I can go right now, if that makes sense. If you notice, I'm sort of locked out of the 2-3 only or the 3-4-5 only if I'm going to place my one. So I'm kind of limited to these three now already, which is a weird, tight feeling because normally you have more options than this, but the rival makes it harder. I'm going to go to the three chips so that I don't get locked out of that one here pretty quickly as well. And I think we talked about prioritizing tundra and forest stuff here, so I'm going to put my chip onto this forest fox. And that's my turn. It's now the rival's
That's
turn.
a
They're going to
wolf,
play the.
Marshall.
I'm sorry, that's a wolf. Excuse me. It's a foxy wolf. All right.
Sure.
Okay. Now it is the rival's turn, and they are placing at the uh, Western Wildlife Landmark. They do have their pollinator symbol, and they place a pollinator on the highlighted card. So there's going to be a whole lot of things happening here, but let's look at their two. Their two says overrun if at a landmark with a bonus, freeze it. Thank goodness this doesn't have a bonus. I'm so glad that they're not freezing this landmark. So they're going to overrun. This is a good chance to see what overrun does. So we have our two that they're going to place, and we're going to go ahead and place it at the location that they said. They are actually following the rule, but they wouldn't have to. When I place the two, uh, overrun is essentially saying in order, and in the rival rule book, there's an order of these card locations, and this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in sort of clockwise order. So starting in order, they're going to prioritize which card they can win, and they're going to place meeples there until they win it, until they are currently winning. In this situation, this is pretty easy for me to adjudicate because I can see that it says overrun. Well, all they have to do is place one card, and they have now overrun this River Blossom. And then when they place another one here and the next adjacent, so we would go one, and then you can see this landmark is not adjacent to 2, 3, 4, or 5, so it'd be 6 is the next place they place and check. And they've overrun that as well because they placed one and they are now winning that card. So essentially, what this is doing is they will go and sometimes spread out or sometimes load up on a card that you're on, depending on what the state of the game is. Now, we're going to look at the little meeple symbol here, and it says gain a bloom advance. And if at a landmark with a bonus, gain a nectar card and then freeze the landmark. There is no bonus here, so they don't get the second portion of this, but they do gain a bloom advance, which is up on this bloom board. The hummingbirds have moved up one. Additionally, because it's hard, in this case, both normal and hard, they'll place a pollinator on the highlighted card. So this is just going to be a free pollinator placed right here on the highlighted card. Uh, my goodness, that was a good turn for the hummingbirds. Now I need to determine what I want to do. There is this tundra card, and there are these forest cards that I've been looking at. Um, I also probably am going to need to slough for some amount of pollinators here. I think I'm just going to try and place a higher value chip on my own chip to move my cave marker up. And now if the if the rival places on this landmark, it'll be locked out for the rest of this round. So for my two, I am going to place, I think, one here and one here to tie for now. And that is my turn. However, I do move my cave marker up uh, due to having placed a higher value chip on top of a chip. Okay, I think it's time for the rival to take their next action. And we're looking at a 3 value chip here. We've got the top landmark, and it does have a bonus there. Oh goodness! And then after they get the bonus to do all these things, they're going to get to move and take over the western landmark, and they're going to do it in a pretty damning way. I don't think I'm getting a wildlife bonus here. All right, let's see. And as a 3 says, it says overrun. If at a landmark with a bonus, freeze it. Oh, this is bad. Okay, so we're placing the 3 here. They are going to get a bonus pollinator, and they're going to put that into the grove where they have the most. That's currently the aquatic. Um, if there were a tie, it would just be my choice of which of theirs with the most to put it into. Whew, my goodness. They are now going to overrun, and then they are going to freeze this landmark. This rival's mean, Ian.
Well, we did make hard a little bit harder, so that counts for a bit.
Oh well, yeah. No, we'll see. I still feel like I have control of this. The boat hasn't started to capsize yet. We're just taking on a bit of water. That's what I'll say. Um, okay, so it's going to prioritize and it's going to win by placing one here, and now it's going to move on to the next one, and it's going to place until winning. I don't love this, and it's going to tie me at this point, and now it's out of pollinators, so we move on to the next portion, which is freezing this landmark. Awful. I was counting on that free grove pollinator up there. Um, they also gain a bloom advance, and they're here with a bonus, so they do gain a nectar card. They've already frozen the landmark, but they would have double frozen the landmark. So here we go, and they gain a nectar card, and that just goes from the top of the deck straight into their sort of pile here, which is going to punish me at the end of the game. All right, and then they're going to move this ship all the way over to a western landmark. So this 3 now moves to the western landmark, and that means they've got 5 total value there. And if you notice, you can only place 2s or 3s there. I have a 3 and a 4 left, meaning I can now not take either wildlife bonus. That makes it very, very difficult. I like to get one of those usually. Okay, my turn. I am I am potentially going to play the same note over and over again here, but only 3 chips can go here, and I can place on top of my own, and I am going to. And with my 3, I'm going to try and secure this wolf. So it does have a public migration, and that says anyone with 3 pollinators on this card when we do the migration phase will get 2 points. So I've at least secured myself 2 points, which is good. Um, well, I mean, currently I have secured myself those 2 points, and maybe that card as well. I think this desert card, since it has nothing on it right now, I'm going to put one there and see about maybe grabbing that one. I really said I wanted one of these two, and then the tundra is something that I'm going to have to address with my 4. So let's hope I don't get locked out of that. Um, where are my pollinators? They are in the forest. Sure, let's go ahead and tie up here and see what we can do. Okay, time for the second to last placement for the rival.
You also get your cave upgrade. since
Oh,
you
I do.
placed a
Thank you.
higher one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. I'm actually going to need that nectar card, it feels.
If you're playing on
Okay.
normal, I wouldn't have reminded you, but you're playing on hard, so
Fair enough.
you need all the
Fair
help you
enough.
can get.
I do. Okay, so now at least we dodged their second ability, but we're placing their four, which says overrun, and if it a landmark with a bonus, freeze it. I am very happy that it did not end at this landmark because that is a big part of my next turn. Um, the the reality here is that the rival is going to squarely take this uh, wildlife bonus, both wildlife bonuses, and then it's going to overrun between these two cards. And you'll notice that pretty much immediately it's going to have a win. So we'll see what happens in the case of a sort of situation where it no longer needs to overrun. So immediately it's going to overrun here, and it places one, and that means it is now winning. It checks this card, it is also winning. Um, and what that means is that it now places all of them based on this card here. Or sorry, sorry, it places them and distributes them evenly, starting with the card highlighted here. So we're going to go to this one, and then one here, and one another here. So I don't think I'm winning this forest card that we talked about, but I will be able to place some pollinators in the forest grove for my bloom advance, which is good. Goodness, that's 5 birds on that river blossom. Uh, and then there's more to do still. Fortunately, there's no bonus here, so we're not freezing it. And gain 2 bloom advances. Grand. I don't know that I've gotten 1 bloom advance yet. I will get it towards the end. There's not many. There's no active ones on the board. Okay. I believe that is the end of their turn. And now I have a 4, and then they will place a 1. So I need to be careful about where I leave myself exposed here. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place our 4 chip on this wonderful 4/5 bonus for a pollinator, because we definitely need that one. We're going to place it here in the forest grove, and that's going to gain us a bloom advance. Feels good, man. Okay. Well, I notice an open and unloved elephant up here, and we're definitely going to place one of these and give the elephant some bat love. And then I'm going to take 2 here and try to win. Oh, goodness. That moves. And then I have one more. I said I really want that forest. Between the forest and the moose, I'm worried. I think that the AI is going to come around and try to take something and or tie something. I guess it'll just be ties. Ideally, they'll have more cards than me to start. So I think I'm going to take a big swing at the moose. Okay. Now time for the first player placement. So the way this happens for the rival is they're going to take the first player chip and they're going to place it at the first place that would win them a card. Now, if you notice here and you go all the way around, nothing here is what you would consider a guaranteed win. They can't just place one to add one. So the next place they're going to place it is the first place they would tie, and that's going to be here on this card. Or on a landmark adjacent to that card. It does not matter which one. However, if there were some sort of bonus for placing a 1 chip, it would defer to placing where the bonus would be so that it perhaps would lock that one out. This is the last placement, so lockouts will clear. It's not incredibly important, but for now, we'll place it here, and they will place their extra pollinator here. And now it's time for us to do the migration phase. goodness. I think I might have gotten away with getting 4 cards off of them, but they are going to have so many pollinators and I have so few. Okay, first thing they're going to do is the Western Wildlife Landmark. There's no need to count. That is just a red tower. So they're going to gain 2 bloom advances. They always take the bloom advances first and leave you with the card if you're winning this one. Or in this case, they're going to take both. So they get another nectar card from the bloom track. Oh, goodness. Now they're going to win this card. I have my choice of putting my pollinators either into the forest or the aquatic. Uh, I'm going to put them in the forest, which is important for a couple of reasons. One is I get another bloom advance. Two is that I need as many pollinators as I can get if I'm getting 4 cards this turn. Now, the um, hummingbirds are going to slot this card, the River Blossom, in, and they get 1 point for per biome with the cards. They're not going to score a ton based on this, but they're going to score it in the first place that they don't have a card on their board, which in this case would be the forest. They are going to score that 1 point. However, we're going to go and look at what would score them the most points here, and give them that tile into this location. So this requires just a bit of the player doing a bit of quick math. Right now, they do have 4 in a biome, which is worth 6 points, so that's more than the 5. They are on top of 1, 2, 3 locations. So that's going to be 6 points as well. So that still doesn't, beat out the B tile here. And then they had 5 pollinators on this card, and that's only 5 points for the D tile. And then for the E tile, what they have is 2 unpollinated, which is only worth 4. So they're going to take this B tile because it's worth 6 points and slot that into the forest. So now they're going to gain the 1 point from the card plus the 6 from the scoring tile here. Hummingbirds will gain 7 points. All right, and then we'll take all of their pollinators and place them back over here next to their board. Moving on to the next pollination here. So now they have a card. If you're unfamiliar with the sort of base game as it is, there is a tiebreaker system, and the first tiebreaker is most cards. So currently, the rival faction has a card. I do not have a card. We're tied for this wolf, meaning I will win that wolf. These 3 pollinators will go to the forest grove. All right. And remember, we're not tracking the bloom advances for the rival. They just get them. So as you can see, they're doing quite well. So they did have 3 of their pollinators, however, on this card, and this has a public migration, so they're going to gain 2 more points. However, I also have those 3, and I'm gaining 2 points. Not to be outdone by the AI. I'm going to bring these over here. Now, for my 3 pollinators, I don't think they're necessary because I'm not going to use that scoring tile, but you stack them on your faction board if you want to remember how many you've had or how many you pulled off the card for the moment. I am on top in 1 place, so this is not a great place for me to use that one, but I do have quite a few. I've got 6 of my meeples in there, so I'm going to go ahead and slot in the 6 scoring tile, and I already got my 2 points from the public migration, so I'll be at 8 points. Okay, now on to this elephant that I was able to score for 1 little meeple. Let's see here. And that's going to gain me 3 points and go into the jungle. And in this case, I have 3 unpollinated, which is worth 7 points. So I'm going to go ahead and slot that in. So that's going to be a 10-point swing. I've got a private migration for 3, and then 7 points on this here scoring tile. So that'll be 18 points.
Marshall, that has a 1 on it, not a 3.
What's that? Oh, is that only that's here, not total?
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So it's the opposite. It's just for 2 points.
I'll just move back to. I put the 5 in there. There we go. So I slotted the 5 in instead and moved my marker back 2 since that's 8 points, not 10. Okay. So now I will go to the next migration, which is a wildlife location. This landmark is going to go to the hummingbirds as well, meaning they get a wildlife card. And they're going to slot this wildlife card into the place where they have the most cards. So what they're doing is beefing up one of their biomes. And currently they only have cards here in the forest biome, so I'm going to place it into the forest. Note that wildlife cards gained in this way do not score any sort of habitat tile, but they will just flip over and pollinate themselves at the end. So they self-pollinate and don't require any pollinators. Would have liked to have one of those myself. I guess, quite frankly, the AI is only getting one more card, so it seems like it's probably fair. They are going to place a pollinator in the tundra when I win this card and place it in my tundra biome. 1, 2, 3. We are getting into the portion of the scores where no, this will work. I do have the 3+ here now, and this one's a 3, so that's going to be 8 points. Nice. Okay. On to the next card, which I've stolen with 1. And we'll slot in a non-scoring tile is what's going to happen here. I think we'll just go ahead and fall on the chips on top one, which is only going to be 2 points there. So I'm gaining 3 points for this. Okay. And then we've got very cleanly winning. The aquatic is the hummingbirds. And they won that with 3 of their pollinators. I believe that's not going to be enough here to use that. They do have this one, which was they were on top in just a couple places, right? 3 places. So that one's going to be worth 6 points. I think that may be the winner there. It is. So they're going to use the chip one, and they're going to use it well. So this says each place where you have your chip on the top of the stack, you gain 2 points. So for them, that's the first player chip, this one here at the wildlife, and this one here at the other wildlife landmark. So that's 6 points. Plus, they get a nectar card from that particular private migration ability from that wonderful little crab there. 6 points. Okay, and now we enter the pollination phase. Um, it's worth noting that the rival does not lose 5 points from any unfilled habitat biomes in the hard mode, which we're playing now. So it's worth noting that those are not negative points for this particular opponent. Um,
At the
so
end
now,
of
yep.
migration, you don't play the bats a lot. I play the bats a lot, so I always remember this. But that's
Mm,
when the bats get their
my
bonus.
bonus. That's right, and I am going to take the nectar card that I'm currently on because I feel like I am falling behind in nectar cards. So okay, thank you for reminding me. I needed that nectar card is going to be the difference between a victory and a loss here. For pollination, what we do is we select a single grove where the rival has the most pollinators. In this case, it's going to be the four here. We'll bring the four pollinators sort of over to our board and see how we want to assign them. In this case, it's very fortunate for the rival that they have two and two, an exact total of four that they need to pollinate. So they will just pollinate this one, and they will pollinate this one with their grove pollinators that they've just brought over. Now, this, as I said, is a wildlife, and it's just going to self-pollinate. So now they've pollinated three cards, and they've got a nice stack of nectar in these two biomes. I am probably going to have a little more trouble than the um, AI, even though I have six pollinators in one grove, which seems like it'd be great. I don't have enough to pollinate everything that I took. And this is one of the sort of cruxes of Everbloom in the game is that if you win lots of cards, you very likely are not going to be able to pollinate them all because it requires a lot of these resources. And these resources are generated by losing cards very often. So um, I find myself in the paradoxical situation of having too many things. I think for me, what I'd like to do in this situation is probably go ahead and leave this three for now. Is that the right one? No, that's so I did win a forest or tundra card, and I need to go back and go ahead and grab the bloom advances for those two. Now pollinating a tundra card gets me another one, so I guess we will leave the desert card unpollinated. So we'll use three of them here, one of them here, and two of them here. And unfortunately, this wonderful rhino stays unpollinated until next round, I hope. And the weird thing here is that we both used the exact amount of our pollinators, so we had no leftovers. But if you have any leftovers, you get to select which grove they go to. For the rival, they'll go to the grove with the most, so they would have gone to the forest here. Okay, there's one more sort of piece of bookkeeping to do here real quick. I pollinated a tundra card, so I'm going to gain these two, and I gain a nectar card for that, which is great. I'm also caught up to the rival, but I have a feeling that's going to change throughout the next round. And then the thing I get to do here is I get 1 point for each pollinated card. So that's 3 points for me, and the rival gets the same 3 points. So we were even there. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. Okay, and now I lose tiebreakers on both vectors to the rival because I have more cards than them and I have more points. So it's going to be very hard for me to win with ties in this second round. Normally we'd pass the first player chip at this point, but remember we don't. They keep the first player chip throughout the game. We do, very, very fortunately, get to remove their lock tokens, their freeze tokens, excuse me. Mr. Freeze. And then I'll bring my chips back over here as well. So that's a round versus the AI. Not a lot of overhead. I don't feel incredibly stressed about the amount of work I have to do to bring them into parity. I took a lot of cards from them, but I didn't have a lot of things I could pollinate. And let's see how round two goes. So to set up round two, we've got to do the same thing here, which is revealing cards. And then we'll reveal our event card. And it's wild chameleons. These are a little different than the other wildlife chameleons. These do score, and they also self-pollinate. They're wild. They can go into any grove, or sorry, into any biome. And they're going to replace the purple. So, or displace, I should say, the tundra. Uh, there we go. Okay, and then I need 3 new bloom cards here. The magic is removing them. I'll add some here. So we've got win a desert or forest card, lose a card with 3 total pollinators on it, and win a wildlife bonus. Oh goodness. I try, but they take the wildlife bonuses, or they did last round. Okay, let's go ahead and move to round 2 and begin the rival's turn. Okay, so we revealed our card. Up top, this one's the easy one. We've got our 1 chip, and you'll notice it says to place it at the northern wildlife landmark. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot one step. We need to flip over 2 of these landmarks, and the 2 that we're going to flip are the lowest and the highest. And what drew my attention to that was they were trying to go to the highest. Okay, good. I'm glad it doesn't give them a bonus. So they are still going to go to the highest. If this were a 2, they would get an extra gain an extra grove pollinator of their choice. Um, Instead, it's a 1, and they're just going to place this meeple right here on this jungle lion. We also have their icon, as you can see. That says gain a bloom advance, and if at a landmark with a bonus, gain a nectar card, and then freeze the landmark. So this is a bonus. They're going to gain a bloom advance quickly. They're going to gain a nectar card, and then they're going to freeze this location. That is quite annoying. Now they're also going to draw a nectar card because I'm playing on hard. Whew, they have 7 nectar cards to start round 2. This is going to be a difficult battle at the end. All right, I think I've done all the things on their card. My goodness, for a 1, that was a lot of activity. I am now going to attempt to play. And once again, they've frozen the thing that would allow me to do my bat abilities. So we're going to play our 1 chip somewhere here. Let's go to our favorite space. The bats have really been enjoying hanging out in this sort of these cliffs above the water. It's a comfort area for us. I'm going to check the biome I don't have. Currently, that's aquatic. I'd like to round that out. And then I also kind of want to win desert or tundra. And a wildlife bonus would be really nice to win here, but I'm not going to do it with my 1 chip. Yeah, we'll place on this crab here. Okay, now it is the rival's turn. We'll flip a new card for them. All right, and of course, it's at the wildlife location. This is going to be their 2 chip. This says overrun. If at a landmark with a bonus, freeze it. Yes, no bonus. Whew, I need to be able to go and try and win this landmark. Um, let's see. So they're going to overrun. Once again, same sort of situation we had last time with the overrun. They are just going to win the first card and come tie me for the second one. So they're winning the first card in order, and now in the second card in order, they'll place until they're winning. They tie me, and now they're out of meeples. Very, very simple. They will now gain a bloom advance. Of course they will. No freezing of this because it's not a bonus, it's a penalty. They also don't, not really a penalty, it's a stipulation. And they don't have to follow those, but they did. Oh. This is starting to get to a place where I'm so worried about getting a landmark, I think I might as well just slam something like my 3 or my 4 here. Oh, I can only put my 3. Okay, here we go. Bats are going to place a 3 here. We are going to gain a cave advance since we placed a higher chip. I think we're going to try to defend our aquatic guy down here a little bit and simultaneously try to take this forest wolf. Okay, that's my turn. Rival's turn. It's getting sketchy. Okay, now we're placing the 3, which is another overrun chip. If at a landmark with a bonus, they'll freeze it. It's not a bonus. It is the 3-chip place. So they're 1 chip away from freezing it anyway. And then we're going to overrun. Dang it. I just tried to take that card from them. So they're going to place their first 2 here. They are now winning the first card. And their last one is going to go here. All right. Now, no bonus, so they're not going to freeze it. And then hard. If at a frozen landmark, gain 2 bloom advances. They are not. All right, we dodged some pain there. That's good. We need that. They're getting strong. To get my cave beefed up, I would have to take an extra one. Really don't like placing my 4 this early, though. I don't think that's a great idea. I don't have many places to place my 2. I sure would like that wildlife bonus, so I think maybe we place it here and try and sort of guarantee it. No, let's go over here to the other wildlife landmark. And let's put them both on this wonderful chameleon. Okay, here comes the foreplay from the rival. We're going to overrun from this location. And if a 4 or 5, they're going to gain a free growth pollinator. That's exactly what they needed, was more resources. Alrighty. They're going to overrun. They're already winning this card and this card. Oh joy. They place 3 of these right on the chameleons that I just invested in, overrunning those, and then they place 1 here to try and take the desert. Oh, that's not great. Oh, are they about to freeze this? This is terrible news. That is going to cost me dearly. I really wanted to go to that space and get the extra. I don't have any growth pollinators. Oh my. I have to think a little bit here because when they freeze that, now I'm in trouble. Let's finish the rest of this bad stuff. They gain 2 bloom advances. And that gives them a nectar card, which I think is 8 if my count is right now. Yep. Yikes. Okay. I wanted to go here and I wanted to do essentially exactly what they did. And I think instead, we're just going to have to kind of go after these 2 cards. At least we get a wildlife landmark bonus. So I get a reduction down to 3 meeples because this is a if 3, 4, or 5 minus 1. So I only get 3 pollinators from this placement. 2 of them are going here. I'm not going to allow the AI to take this from me. And then 1 is going here, I think. Let's think about this. Yeah, and they could still tie me there, but I think they'll win first. Okay. Now for the rivals' first player chip placement. They are already winning here, and they will win here. So they're going to place here, and they're going to take that card from me. I don't think I thought that through. Oof, turnabout is fair play, huh? I think the rival is taking 4 cards to my 2 this round. Yikes. This is going to be tough. And I believe that is it. We're moving into migration. Okay. Um, I do win this wildlife landmark with my 3. I'm going to take the 2 bloom advances to start. Um, the rival wins this one, so I get 2 into the forest. Oh, I won a wildlife bonus, so I do get 2 bloom advances and 1 nectar card. Into the forest. My goodness. I don't think I can fight for the forest anything anymore. They're already 3 cards deep. Going to gain 3 points plus. They do have 4 in a grove, so they're getting 9 points right now. Yikes. 27. That was a quick catch up for them. Onto this card with a single meeple. They're taking the Tundra 3. They only had 1 meeple, so that's probably not going to do it. This is only a 1, so this scoring tile is going to be worth 2. This is where they're going to use their 5 points, so they're going to get 8 points off of that one. 35. And my lead is gone, just like that. I will place my pollinator into the jungle, and they win this card as well. Goodness. It's going to be jungle, and they get a grove pollinator of their choice from the public migration bonus or the private migration bonus, and that's going to go into the forest where they have the most. They only had 1 on this card. Sorry, they had 2 on this card, so that'd be 2 here or 4. So I think this is going to be the 4-point score. 39. Ooh, okay. I do get the second wildlife bonus, which is nice. I'm going to take a wildlife card and I'm going to put it in the tundra. Again, that doesn't score and it doesn't do anything else, but it will auto-pollinate. Okay, so they're going to get their 3 will go to the forest because that's the one with the most, and they have more than enough pollinators to do all the things they want. I am going to win this wildlife card with 4 of my bats. And I think we're going to go ahead and place it right here into the aquatic tundra. Sorry, the aquatic biome. You can tell I've been reading these same words for some time. And score 4 points for that. 34. Trying to keep up. Okay. Again, with 1 pollinator, the rival is going to win this card. And unfortunately, they have to slot this in for a single point. So that's only going to be 1 point. I don't mind that. That happens to players as well. So that's not a phenomenon just for the rival. Every now and then you just get a scoring tile that you can't make work for yourself because you've been focused on other vectors. So
Or you accidentally win a card. You're like, oh, whoops, I wasn't planning on that.
I didn't mean to get that one. Yeah, exactly. Yep. Okay, so they'll place into the aquatic grove, and then I've won with 2. My aquatic is already set as this, so that's going to be just 2 points, unfortunately, because I didn't have the 3 on for the public migration bonus. So, 36. And that is round 2's migration. Now we're just going to do a quick pollination. I think, quite frankly, we know that the rival is about to pollinate almost everything they have, but they're going to start on this side and then continue across. So they do need 1 here, so we'll just pay 1 and flip this card. They need 3 here, so we'll pay 3 and flip this card. They need 1 here, so we'll pay 1 and flip this card. Oh, I'm gonna get punished. And then 2 here. to flip this card. They flipped everything. I did not do that on my first turn, if you don't remember. And then they're going to place this one back in the grove with the most. And if the most is tied, it is the player's discretion. I'm just going to put them in the tundra. I don't think it matters too much. Okay. Awful. I now am going to try to pollinate with nothing here. I only have 2 grove pollinators. My goodness. I am in a bad state here. And I'm going to spend those 2 pollinating here. I do get to pollinate my wild chameleons, and I do get to pollinate these chameleons. So I guess it's not as bad as I thought, because 2 of those flipped anyway. I score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 points. So it's going to be 42, in the lead momentarily. And the rival scores 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. And there goes the lead. 47. Okay, I need a really good third round to make this win happen.
You can win ties now. That's great.
I mean, I can win. Can I? Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, we still both have 7 cards. He's
Oh,
he's ahead of me. So I mean, it's
for now.
yes, I am currently winning ties for now. It is a delicate balance, though. I just didn't get any grove pollinators that time because I had to go all in to make sure I won my card. So we'll see what happens here. We're both filled up on biomes. Whew. Time to do some cleanup. I will say this is one of the harder games against the rival that I have played, which is good.
Right. If,
Okay.
if it says hard, it should be hard, right? Like that.
I believe that is what the word means. Of a difficulty level, more advanced than easy. Our last event is going to displace the forest card. And it's also Storm of Rain, so your first chip cannot be placed in an adjacent landmark if able. Again, the rival ignores things like this in general, but I cannot. So my first chip cannot be placed here, here, or here, which limits me relatively greatly. We also need to flip the highest and the lowest, and that's going to be the 9 here. Oh, interesting. Now we're at a 1 or 2 only on the bottom, and the 25. And now we're at a 1, 4, or 5 only. Oh my goodness. This is getting tricky.
So this is the duo landmark set, which is specifically tuned to be a little bit tighter at 2 players, which this is. So I mean,
Yep.
it's 1 player in a rival, but
I believe, did I gain both sets of wildlife bonus advances?
I don't think so. I think your first one made it so you were tied with them.
Yeah, so I think I do have 2 more, and then I lost a card with 3 or more on it, so I have 1 more there. So,
Just take
awesome.
all of them you want. Just go for
I mean, just move it up the track. That's fine. Yeah, yeah. Oh, don't worry. I'm sure the lead on that track is also temporary. Okay, so it's the rival's turn. I feel like there's one more thing perhaps I'm forgetting between steps. Nope, you already did it. So we've got place a chip at 3 different landmarks, pollinate an aquatic card, or pollinate a jungle card. Those are my objectives for the bloom track. Okay, here we go. We're going to flip the rival action card. Oh joy, it has an icon. So it's a 1. It's going to go here and it's going to cheat against the Storm of Rain. And then it's going to place here. Oh my goodness. And then it's going to gain a bloom advance, and there is no bonus here, which is the good thing. So it's not going to freeze or gain that nectar card, but it does gain a bloom advance. And then, if it's normal or hard, which it's both, it's going to freeze this landmark. Oh, joy. Okay. Hmm. Well, I think we need to get down to this 1 or 2 only area. And I do need grove pollinators. I don't know that I want to battle with the rival for this location right now. I also like bloom advances, so we're just going to put it right there. Okay, rival turn. God, another freaking icon. Okay, 2 overrun. If at a landmark with a bonus, freeze it. So this is not a bonus, but I think it's going to get frozen anyway based on the icon. We'll see here. 2, and it's going to overrun, so it's going to start here and go this way. And again, it's winning. And it is tied. And that's all it's got there. Just making my life a little bit harder. Okay. Then we have the icon. Gain a bloom advance. It's not a bonus, so they don't get the nectar card, but they're still gaining a bloom advance. Oh, it's not frozen, but it really doesn't help me because it's a 1 or 2 only. I need to be able to place a higher chip. My goodness. My goodness. Oh, and then there was a normal hard gain of bloom advance as well. So now they're tied with me. Remember how I talked about that lead being short-lived?
Just one card flip away.
This is tricky. I have a feeling I'm about to get locked out of some stuff. So I'm going to have to place a higher chip probably. Okay. If 2, you get a free grove pollinator. I need that more than anything on Earth right now. I don't have enough of those. And then I really don't want to battle for the forests. They've got a ton in there. I don't really care that much about the jungles either, though. I guess I do need points. Yeah, we'll go ahead and just kind of diversify a little. One here and one there. Okay, rival turn. Oh man, not another icon. Come on, man. Oh, and this is a bonus one. Son of a gun, man. Locking this is gonna. I might lose. I might lose this game. Here we go. 3 goes here. It's gonna end up getting locked. I'm 90% sure. Ooh, overrun. If it'll landmark with a bonus, freeze it. So yep. And to overrun, it's gonna put 1 there. It's winning this one already. Oh my! I placed the wrong color landmark or wrong color meeples last turn. These are mine, not yours. Which gives him the opportunity to then come place 2 here and take this from me, making it his, theirs. Oh, you evil birds. It's a bonus. Freeze the landmark. They have locked out 2 of the most important places in the game that one can go. And then gain a bloom advance, and if they'll and a nectar card. They've already locked it. So they're at 9 nectar cards now. No habitat biome is safe. Goodness. Okay. Um, they're going to move their chip to the eastern landmark. Is that also what's happening here? Awful. Also awful. Golly. This is tricky. I can't access that card anymore. I cannot get to this card again. We should have played the butterflies. All right. And then this is if 3, 4, 5 -1. Oh my goodness. This is one of the roughest situations. I think I have to play the 4 now. Try and get the wildlife bonus. Whew. I think I want to win aquatic. So I'll put 2 here. Let's make it 3 there. Why not? And 1 more up here. Okay. God damn. All right. At least it's already locked. Their 4 is going to go right here. Overrun. Terrible. But it does mean that placements are easier for me. They're going to go until they have 3 here. And then 1 down here. Dang it. They took it. Now, this stays locked. They're going to gain a bloom advance. That's all, though. They gain a nectar card from the bloom advance, but they don't get another one from the ability. And then they're going to move the chip to the eastern landmark. That's fine. You go all in on that one. I don't mind. Huh. This is rough. I do not know that I can. Yeah, I can get my cave advance. It's not ideal, but I can get it. And I think I'd probably just take the 5 points because right now I am getting whooped. Okay, so we've got 3 meeples going out. This is a bonus location, but I don't get the bonus. What am I doing about grove pollinators? And do I want to win that one? No, I kind of want to lose those 2 to put them in here and then pollinate. Okay, so we're going to put 2 of these. Oh, I keep taking the wrong color meeples. Yep. I'm going to put 2 of them here. Oh, if I don't put another one here, he's going to come back and tie me. Neat. I put all 3 of them on this one card. Oh no. This is just terrible. Am I only about to win 2 cards here total? Yeah, I can't do that. I'm going to do this. And that way there's a tie at least. No. Oh, this is dangerous. Okay, I'm going to tie here, and that's it. Okay, so then they're going to take their first player chip, and they're going to say, can I win this? And they're going to win it. And that was super dumb of me, except that I have plenty of things. Okay, sorry, I am going to retcon that because I just counted poorly. Yeah, so they're going to go here. They are already winning this. They're going to take this. I don't think I can protect anything, Ian. I'll stick with my original move. It's fine. They win
maybe you
this
just
one.
need pollinators. Maybe it's fine.
Maybe so. God, this is hard. All right. Okay. And that one goes to, it doesn't matter, but I'm going to say they would, yeah, no, it does matter. They would prioritize this one. Okay. I did win this wildlife bonus. I want the bloom advances, right? Yeah, that's a nectar card. Oop. That one's mine, not theirs. Okay, now on to Storm of Rain. The hummingbirds win it, no matter what I do. These 3 can go into my pollinator bucket, which is great. Storm of Rain is going to go into... Sorry, Ian, is this the first one with the least, correct?
Yes, you have the least cards.
Okay, so that's going to be right there. And then they're going to score 7 points from it. Neat. God, 55 already. Or sorry, 54. Ugh, that's still gross. Okay. Um, they also win this forest one that had 1 on it. They only have 2 in the groves currently, so that's only going to be 2 points. All right, I did win this jungle one, so these 2 will go to the jungle for them. And I had 3 on it, so that's going to be 2 points plus the 5 up here is 7 points. 49. Handily, they have won the wildlife card. And that's going to go into, the forest.
That's where they don't already have one, so it would be 1 over. Or where?
Nope, wildlife was where they have the most. Oh, where they don't have a wildlife, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, that reminds me about something. Okay, right there. Okay. They really win this with 1? God, I'm bad at this game. I don't think I could get there, though, to be honest. So I go into the tundra. And then we've got our 2 hummingbirds are going to take the desert as well. Oh, yeah, they gain 5 points. Oh, 61. This goes to the desert tundra. And they're going to gain 2 bloom advance from that. Rough. They had what, 1 on there? Or 2 on there, so they're going to gain 2 points. Okay. And then this one goes to the aquatic tundra, and I went aquatic with 3. And that's 3 points plus a grove pollinator of my choice. It's gonna be the jungle. And 3 points. 1, 2, 3. Place a chip at 3 different landmarks. I did do that. So, right? Yes. I gained 2 bloom advance to stay tied with them. And that is the end of round 3. So now we go to the end game scoring. Although at the end here, I am going to take a 5-point bonus from my cave at the end. I should have done that at the end of migration, but
What
I'm
is the
going
end
to
of
take
migration?
at the end of migration. I mean, I'm going to take it right now. Yeah. 57. Okay, moment of truth. Let's pollinate.
Ooh, they have hardly any pollinators this round.
Yeah, it's 2, 2, or 2, huh? So they're going to pollinate the forest. And then that's it. And then they're going to pollinate that wildlife card. And that's it. They took too many that they could not pollinate. Although I don't think it's really, I don't think they're in that bad of a place, to be honest. Okay. For my pollination, I think I'm taking all of these bats out of here, right? However many of them it is. 3, 2, 2. And I think I only have 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yikes. Okay, we definitely want this one, so that's 2 of them. Do we just not worry? Yeah, they've got a lot in the desert, so then 2 of them for this one. Oof, I'm not feeling too strong about where this score is going to end up. All right, it is now time for us to do the in-game scoring. I am relatively certain. Yep. I did pollinate an aquatic card, and I did pollinate a jungle card. So that's 4 bloom advances. One, two. Oh, wrong way. I think I took us both the wrong way. One, two, three, four. It's on camera, so we can see if I cheated. But all right. Yeah, I don't know if those 2 points difference or 3 points difference are going to make it for me. Forest. I have just the one little card here. Let's just flip these over and start adding them, huh? Oh my. So these are adding to the amount of nectar that the rival has in each. We're running out of room. You're gonna have to stack them back here. In each habitat, and then I've got some as well. They're not incredibly great, but maybe they'll help turn the tide. All right, so for the forest, I've got 3, and I believe the rival has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the rival is going to get 10 points, 73, and I am going to get 1 point. For the desert, I have 2, and the rival has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the rival is going to get 7 points, bringing them up to 80, right? Yep. And I am going to get 1 point for being in second place. Aquatic, the rival has 4. I have 7. So I'm going to gain 7 points. And the rival is going to gain 2 points. Didn't limit him as much as I would have liked. In the tundra, I have 5, 6, 7, and the rival has 2. So I'll gain 7 points. Come on, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And the rival gains 1 point. In the jungle, I have 4. Oh no, and the rival also has 4. Oh, so we each gain 2 points. Bloom track, I gain 9. They gain 6. Oh, 84 to 91. I believe I have lost on hard mode to the Hummingbird Rival. GG, Hummingbird Rival.
Yeah, normally this is where you'd subtract the -5, but you both had all your biomes filled out, so no minuses.
Yep. Yep. And in a 2-player game, it can be pretty difficult to lock out a habitat. That's somewhat normal. There's just a lot of cards, and that's fine. I could have probably locked him out of aquatic had I fought a little harder for one of those. But again, in hard mode, it doesn't save me the 5 points.
Yeah,
So,
there's a lot of other things going on for that as well. Just trying to get
yep.
over there.
Yeah, these two lock tokens made it very, very hard to operate. I was only behind by, 6 or 7 points. So yeah, very, very good game against the AI. Again, this is something that is in active development. We're still working on little portions of this, but later this afternoon we'll be posting the current rule book and updating the tabletop simulator so folks can get in and play on their own. If they enjoy solo play and enjoy giving feedback on solo play, we're more than happy to hear, what your experience is like and things that you enjoyed or maybe didn't enjoy. Happy to sort of discuss a few of these things with the solo community as we round out the mode and finish it up for production. So this is, if we have 90% of our files at the factory, like we've discussed a little bit previously in some of the posts, this is in that 10% of the things that is being finished is sort of polishing the bit of the solo rules and kind of making sure that the sort of difficulty is gauged correctly. And I think losing to a hard by this many points is getting in. We're pretty close to dialed in, but it always helps to have more people that are perhaps less familiar with the game playing and trying it. So feel free to hop on TTS, or if you have any questions, hop in our Discord, and we're happy to answer them. If you're in the Discord and you'd like some tips or some help running through this, feel free to ping the channel, and we'll see if we can't get somebody to help you out with that as well. So,
Or if you want to
uh,
gloat about how you beat the hummingbirds,
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
handily, and you don't see how they're such a big problem for Marshall, then yeah, he was come on. We all of
yeah.
it. We welcome all of it.
I just want to see a screenshot of them having frozen the two central locations in your game. That's yeah. Cool. Well, thank you all for checking this out, whether you watch during the stream or you're checking this out later on in the afternoon. We really appreciate all your support. We cannot believe how well the campaign's going. We're incredibly thrilled to see so many people supporting Everbloom. So thank you again, and I think that'll do it for this one. We'll see you later this week.